Hey guys, my name's David Byrne. I'm 28 years old and I am the founder and CEO of DeadySpec, a global internet solutions provider, as well as an e-commerce planner for Best Buy. Now, normally we wouldn't be doing this on a video, and I would be in the classroom and I could ask everyone in there to raise your hands if you've ever heard of the company called Best Buy. And hopefully there'd be lots of hands up, and we can still do this now, so go ahead and raise your hands if you've heard of Best Buy before. Now keep your hands in the air if you've ever shopped in our stores or online before. And again, I would hope a lot of you have your hands up, or at least some of you do. But on the other side, my company, DeadySpec, is in a much lesser known industry to the public eye. And I don't think I'd get as many hands in the air, but we can try it real quick. Raise your hand if you've ever heard of the term or know what it is, a data center or a server. Hopefully there's some hands in the air right now, but I'm guessing not as many as the Best Buy question. So I'll tell you a little bit more about my career shortly. First, I'm going to tell you a little bit more about myself. So I'm from Prior Lake, Minnesota, obviously, and that's actually where I currently live as well, so I didn't go very far when I came back from college. I graduated from the University of Wisconsin-Superior, where I received degrees in marketing, entrepreneurship, and communication. A few quick fun facts about myself. I enjoy spending time coaching a wide range of ages in youth competitive soccer, both boys and girls. I find it so rewarding to watch all these athletes grow over the years in their sport, and it's a total blast to do. I lived in Europe for a little under a year during college, where I studied abroad in Scotland and also lived in a castle. And during that time, I traveled across about 6 different countries while I was out there. I started my own company, DeadySpec, when I was 21 years old, with that dream we all have of being your own boss. And let me tell you, it is not as great as it always seems, and it has its good and bad days. And when I was in middle school and even high school, I had no idea what I wanted to be. I had the same dream as I'm sure a lot of you had of being a professional athlete. Mine was a professional soccer basketball player. I didn't quite get there. I came up a little short on that one. But at the same time, I also never saw myself working at Best Buy for 10 years now, or even starting my own company, which is now on 8 years. So let me take you down my career path a little bit. We'll start with Best Buy. So I started in their stores up in Duluth, Minnesota while I was going to college. And I worked in their stores for 2 years. So I had the opportunity to work 2 Black Fridays, which I highly recommend any of you do at least one Black Friday in your life if you have the opportunity. There's so many skills you can learn during it outside of your normal retail or restaurant skills that you learn. Just being able to take all the things you've learned and do it in a time crunch with thousands of people in your store or coming into your store. It's a crazy environment, but it's great to experience at least once in your life. But also just working retail, restaurants, just anything that's customer facing like that. You'll learn so many valuable skills that you'll take throughout your entire career. I can't stress enough how important that is. So while I was in their stores, I worked just about every department. Primarily, though, I was in the cell phone department, which is also called Best Buy Mobile, home theater, computing, but I found myself in just about every department there at some point in time. From there, I took a 6-month internship on Best Buy's e-commerce team. So I traveled back down here to their corporate campus, moved my school to online only, and basically moved back home down here. So to rewind a little, at that point in time, Best Buy's share price was trading at about $13 a share. We are in the newspaper, and for those of you that don't know what a newspaper is, we are online as well. But we're in the news just about every week about whether or not the company was going to make it out of this bad period of time we were in. We had just lost our CEO. Our original founder, Dick Schultz, was trying to buy us back and take us private. A lot of things weren't going well for the company at that time. So it was a difficult time to go take this internship at their corporate office. To fast forward to today, even with the virus going on, we're trading at just under $80 a share. And I would argue this is one of the greatest turnaround stories in the business world as well, especially retail, when Amazon's closing up a majority of the big box retailers out there. So came in at an odd time, but ended up proving to be very rewarding. But took a 6-month internship there where I worked with all the different business teams on their e-commerce side. And I did a lot of just more analyst kind of skills, whether it was scrubbing their website, looking for things that were not right on the website, or helping pull basic sales reporting. Just real easy tasks that helps give the rest of their team some flexibility and time back to do other tasks. From there, I applied for a position on the actual e-commerce team. And even though I didn't have my degree yet, which was a requirement, they did they did waive that requirement and hired me on full time on their e-commerce team. So the big thing there, and I'll talk to it later, is networking. Just because I didn't have a degree, my networking of all these people at the corporate office, as well as my retail experience, proved so valuable to get me that job. But now in my current role as an e-commerce planner, a majority of the time what I'm doing is working closely with our buyers and our marketing teams to build the experience on the cell phone department, Best Buy Mobile. So to build the experience for big launches, say iPhone, Samsung Galaxy Note phones, any of these big launches, how it represents itself online, I help play a role in bringing that to life on .com or bestbuy.com. What we also do is we work closely with big campaigns, so Black Friday, back to school. We're working with all these teams to bring that experience to life online so the customer can easily shop it and we can build a best-in-class experience. Lastly, another big thing I do is buying and activating a phone in store. It's a bit of a task. It's not terrible not as terrible as it used to be, but it's still not an easy task. To do that online, though, is a much different story, and we've came a long ways. But that's one of my large jobs also, is to clean up that experience online and help make it a easier, more flexible experience for customers to buy a phone, activate it, and have it either shipped to them at their home or purchase or pick it up in store. So that's a little bit of what I'm doing right now at Best Buy. I've been in my current category under Best Buy Mobile for about 3 years now. I'm loving it. The Best Buy family is great, and it's just a very fun place to work, especially in the e-commerce area where e-commerce isn't going away anytime soon. It's been fun watching Best Buy blend the retail and e-commerce sides together as well, just to figure out how that works when we're competing against giants like Amazon. So now to flip it to the other side, to tell you a little bit about my company, DeadySpec. I'll first explain what my company is, since it's a bit of a confusing industry. DeadySpec is an internet solutions provider. So we manage thousands of servers, which are basically thin versions of a desktop computer like you probably have at your home right now. These servers can be used to power anything from simple websites, say Wikipedia, Google, just any website you go to, it's powered by a server of some form. All the way to apps that you use on your phone all day. Snapchat, Instagram, Angry Birds, all these are powered by servers. Now, some people will say it's powered by the cloud. The cloud is just a bunch of servers in the end. So think of servers as what powers basically everything on the internet in some way, shape, or form. And these servers are housed in what we call data centers. And these data centers are basically just giant warehouses full of tons and tons of servers and utilities. And when I say utilities, I'm talking backup power, cooling, internet lines. There's tons of infrastructure that goes into these buildings because it's so vital that they always are online, and whatever company might be renting services from them always need their products online. So how we make money is another interesting one. We charge a monthly rental fee to our customers to rent servers from us. And nowadays that payment model has become increasingly popular across multiple industries, as everyone's trying to find ways to get reoccurring revenue out of their products or services. In the last couple of years, that's become a huge go-to for a lot of companies. Just getting that steady stream of revenue each month is huge for companies. So that is how we make our money. People pay us for the services. Our cost then comes in terms of paying for internet, just like your parents pay for internet at their homes. We pay an internet bill to our providers to keep us connected. We pay bills to our power companies to keep us connected with power. And then we're also paying bills with or we're paying for the space we have as well. So there's all sorts of costs that come into this as well. So we take that revenue, we cut out all of our operating expenses there, and that's how we get our profit then at the end of the day, to keep it very simple. In terms of what our customers are using them for, like I said earlier, anything from websites to apps on your phone. I mean, even big companies, tools that they use in the office. We have companies using us. So it's a wide range of services. We don't know absolutely everything our customers use them for. That is up to them what they want to use it for. And some people even use it for programming, which I'm sure a lot of you nowadays are starting to learn basic programming. So they use it as a demo server to tinker around with and do some programming. So I created DeadySpec in 2012 with a friend of mine with the original goal of just creating a small side gig to just create a little extra cash flow. I mean, it sounded like a great idea. The risk was very low, so I wanted to take a shot at it. And at 21 years old, most of us have no idea how to even start a company, and especially no idea how it will perform. It's unbelievable how many things I feel like I learned just to start the company. And then you fast forward to today, and there's lots of things I've came to realize I've missed out or not done well enough. And it's all one big learning experience. But yeah, fast forward to today, we currently have customers in over 70 different countries, multiple employees, in data center locations in 4 different states, which include Nevada, Texas, Missouri, and West Virginia. So in 8 years, we've grown incredibly quickly. I couldn't be happier with how things have gone, but at the same time, it's been full of stress, fun and stress. It's been an adventure, that's for sure. So now we'll talk a few of my career journey stories from the provided questions from Junior Achievement. So the first one was, what advice would I give my younger self if I could do my career path over again? And this is a fun one. I've looked back on this a lot more and more over the years, actually, especially as I've matured a little bit in my career. I would say enjoy life before diving into work. I can't stress that enough. Whether that means traveling, time with friends or family, or just figuring out what it is you actually want to do. While everyone in high school and college dreams of making tons of money, driving fancy cars, buying a big house, whatever your financial goal might be, I now realize that focusing on your happiness and learning as much as possible while you're young is much more important in your career in the long run. And money is far from everything. This will save you from burning out. And I think the other big thing is I've been very guilty of overworking just to work, or because I felt like I had to, that I was being forced to. I was guilty of that early on in my career. And while it might be very rewarding, you might move quickly in your career, you learn real quick that burnout kicks in very fast if you don't figure out that perfect life balance. So happiness doesn't come entirely from your career and shouldn't be related to how much money that first big job will pay. Money will come eventually, and at the same time, you should only need enough to take care of your essentials, and happiness won't be, or happiness is not part of that then. So enjoy life, that'd be my biggest thing, and don't move too quick. Enjoy it while you can. Learn as much as possible while you're young, because that will follow you all your life. And then when you do need all that you learned, you have it there with you. The next question then is, what tips do I have about successful job hunting? What unsuccessful job hunting experiences have I learned from? Network, network, and network. My job at Best Buy after my internship technically required a college degree, which I had not finished yet, but they waived it due to my retail experience, plus all of the people who were supporting me getting the job at Best Buy's corporate office, as well as even my old retail connections. Even if you aren't looking for a job, I cannot stress enough how critical it is to build your network, whether it's just friends learning what they do for a job or some interesting skills or traits that your friends have, or even within your own company or job, wherever you might work. Get to know everybody, get to know what they're experts in, and have them pass along some of that knowledge to you. It's the greatest way to learn, And then you have this massive network of people who are going to support you potentially when you start looking for that first job or next job, or even once you're 30, 35, 40 years old and you want to do something new, you can tap into that network of yours, see if there's people you know at companies that interest you, and you might be able to find something that way. That is one, if not the most valuable thing you can do to get a job, in my opinion. You can make that resume look very pretty and have all sorts of skills and history on there. In the end, networking speaks for itself. All the people in your network will speak to how they thought you were. If you did a good job working with them, or if you come off as a great person, they'll let your employer, whoever it is asking, know. And then not only do you have individuals that know of you, but then you can also learn incredible amounts of new information or skills from this network, like I mentioned just a little bit ago. What do I look for when I hire someone? I believe you should never be scared to hire someone that is better or smarter than you at certain tasks. It may sound odd at first, but embracing the fact that you are not an expert at everything is so huge. And in my opinion, it will help you grow more by yourself and in your career down the road. So no one should try to master everything, but instead build a team that can work well together and collaborate. When you have a team that all have their own specialties and you can all speak to each other about it, that's a successful team. So that's everything for this video. I hope everyone got to learn something during this talk. It's a lot to go over, especially when you're talking about two different career paths. That's a little bit unique, I'm sure. But I would love to dive into more of this at another time and focus on specific topics as well. And hopefully in person at some point in time. I would love to do that too. So yeah, my biggest advice to all of you is to not stop learning and enjoy life. Take as much time as you can to learn everything you possibly can while you're in this young and important stage in your life. Use your 20s as your time to learn everything you can and experience everything you possibly can. Life moves fast, so make sure you enjoy it during this important time in your lives, and good luck with where you end up. And I hope to do another one of these speaks soon. Thanks, everyone.